Hi, Lorea here, and I want to just read off a note that was sent to me by John Hopkins University in the United States, which is a leading center for medical research. They've discovered that the coronavirus is a protein molecule, and I want to tell you some ways that they have suggested to me to help you to prevent yourself from catching the virus and later the disease. Okay? I'm just going to read from the note that they sent me. It says that the virus is not a living organism, but a protein molecule. That is the DNA structure of the virus. It's covered by a lipid, a fat, protective layer, which, when absorbed by the cells of the ocular, nasal, or buccal passages, it changes its genetic code. It's a mutation. And it turns into an aggressor and starts multiplying its cells. Since the virus is not a living organism, but a protein molecule, it is not killed, but it decomposes by itself. The time of disintegration depends on the temperature, humidity, and the type of material it rests on. The virus is very fragile. The only thing that protects it is a thin layer of fat. This is why any soap or detergent is the best remedy, because the foam dissolves the fat. That's why you have to rub your hands for 20 seconds or longer to make more foam. By dissolving the fat layer, the protein molecule disperses and decomposes on its own. They also recommend using a normal bar soap as opposed to liquid soap. Bar soap is almost twice as effective as liquid soap from removing the coronavirus from your hands and from your body. Now, the heat melts the fat, okay? This is why it is good to use water over 25 degrees Celsius for washing everything, hands, clothes, you name it, bed sheets. In addition, hot water makes more foam, and this makes it more effective in removing the virus. Alcohol or any mixture with alcohol over 65% dissolves the fat, especially the outer lipid layer of the virus, which makes the virus vulnerable and disintegrates it. Any mixture with 1 part bleach and 5 parts water dissolves the protein directly and decomposes it from the inside. Oxygenated water helps a lot after soap, alcohol, and chlorine because the peroxide dissolves the virus protein, but you have to use it pure, which affects the skin. The virus is not a living organism like bacteria. One cannot kill what is not alive with antibiotics, but it quickly disintegrates into its structure with all that I have just mentioned. Never shake your used clothing, bed sheets, or other materials. While it is glued on a porous surface, the virus is very inert and disintegrates only between 3 hours on a fabric or porous surface, 4 hours on copper, because copper is naturally antiseptic, and wood, 24 hours on cardboard, 42 hours on metal, and 72 hours on plastic. But if you shake anything with the virus on it, or if you use a cleaning pad to spread the virus around, the virus molecules can float up in the air for up to 3 hours and can be easily inhaled. So if you plan to shake anything, I would recommend wearing a mask, and then after shaking the items, putting them out in the sun so that the virus can die under the sunlight, under UV light. Virus molecules remain very stable in external cold or artificial colds, such as air conditioners in homes and cars. They also need moisture to remain stable, and above all, darkness. Therefore, dehumidified, dry, warm, and bright environments will degrade the virus faster. I personally recommend, I've been doing this myself, is that every morning when you wake up, open all your windows up, allow the sunlight to come into your bedroom, and ventilate any spaces that had been closed off in the evening within your house or apartments. Make sure that you properly ventilate everything. UV light on any object that may contain it breaks down the virus protein. For example, for disinfection and reuse of a mask, this is perfect. So if you need to wash your masks because you don't have enough, wash them with detergent or soap and then hang them out in the sunlight to dry, and you've instantly got a reusable mask. You don't need to keep buying masks. That's better for the environment as well. UV light does break down collagen in the skin because collagen is protein, and this eventually causes wrinkles and skin cancer. This is totally irrelevant to the coronavirus, but the university added this in their notes to me. The virus cannot pass through healthy skin. This would explain why young people, babies, are less affected than the elderly. Okay, now, contrary to popular belief, vinegar is not useful in combating the virus because it does not break down the protective layer of fat that surrounds the virus. No juice, gin, or vodka is effective. The strongest vodka is 40% alcohol, and you need a 65% alcoholic content in order to use it to wipe down surfaces and to get rid of the virus. So the perfect antidote to that is, guess, your mouthwash, Listerine. Listerine is 65% alcohol, and that can be used to wipe down all surfaces and get rid of the virus. The more limited the space in which you are confined, the more there is a concentration of the virus. So the more open or naturally ventilated the space is, the less virus can occur. So if you have an excuse to get outdoors, walk your dog, go and do some sport, or just sit in your garden under the sun, all of these will help you to get rid of the virus. You should wash your hands before and after you touch food, locks, buttons, switches, remote controls, mobile phones, watches, computers, office surfaces, the television, even whilst using the bath. I would highly recommend to use the knuckle, like this part, to push buttons in elevators and remotes and everything else, because the virus can get trapped in those little cracks that surround the buttons in elevators and so forth. So don't use your finger point, but use the knuckle to push instead, because if you get the virus on your finger point, you will then touch your face, rub your nose, and the virus will be able to enter through the eyes, through the nose, through the mouth. You should moisturize your dry hands after washing them, because the molecules of the coronavirus, COVID-19, can hide in the micro cracks that result from dry skin. The thicker the cream you use to protect your face, your hands, your body after showering and after washing, the better. This provides like a protective film in combating the virus. Also, make sure you have the nails as short as possible so that the virus doesn't hide there. Finally, I have been doing this personally myself, but rinse your throat a few times a day with a salt and warm water solution, okay? Now, China rapidly dropped their number of coronavirus patients by using this specific method. The virus can stay in the throat for up to 4 days. And after this, it will go into your lungs and cause pneumonia-like symptoms. Then you're being attacked, and that's when you need to be hospitalized. So the idea is to keep washing the virus into your stomach, where it will break down and be killed by your stomach acids. So you need to keep drinking water, especially warm water, anything with heat, and especially using this salt solution. You can rinse your throat, twice a day. This will wash the virus into your stomach instead of the lungs. All right. So I hope you all stay safe. These are all the tips that were sent to me by John Hopkins University. I was personally cleaning with vinegar up to this point. I was even applying vinegar into my nostrils twice a day, in the morning and the evening. But now I realize vinegar doesn't work, so I'll have to change to Listerine probably in order to keep myself safe. And take care, everybody, and I'll be making my next video soon. Stay safe.